guys, it's me Gabby from Palboholic, and I have brought to you concrete evidence that I really am a bookaholic and that it's not an over exaggeration. I bought 16, and I repeat again, 16 books this weekend on my trip to London, and I had to carry them across the continent. Yeah. So, without further ado, let's get down to it because it's going to take a lot of time. The first book that I bought is Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly. I hope that's how you pronounce the name. As you can see from the cover, it's about mermaids, and it's kind of compared, at least in the reviews, with Percy Jackson, because there is this girl, a mermaid, who has to save her world, her people, etc., etc. I found it interesting. I've never read a book about mermaids, and even though it's kind of middle grade-ish, I think that I'm going to enjoy it. The second book that I bought is Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page, and well, as you can understand from the title, Dorothy is now a bad witch, and this girl, has to go to Oz to stop Dorothy. And, well, that's what I got from the synopsis here. It seems cool. I got it at half price, and, well, I love books that are half priced. Who doesn't? Okay, so the third book that I got is Legend by Marilu. If I have to compare it with other books from what I know, it's something like Hunger Games, which meet The Maze Runner, which sounds amazing. And I do compare it with other books because it's much easier for me to tell you what it's about without actually reading the synopsis and telling you this character is going to die, this character is going to escape, and etc., etc. I hope you find my comparison easier to understand what the book is about. If you don't, you just have to write down in the comments, and I promise next time I will explain the whole synopsis and the whole subject of the book. And the fourth book that I bought is The Jewel by Amy Ewing, and the one thing that I know for sure about this book is that it has amazing setting and amazing world, and I love different worlds, so I could not resist it. And plus the cover is gorgeous, and even if you read just what it says on the cover, it says, "Tomorrow I will become lot 197," and here it says, "Tomorrow is my last day as Violet Lasting." So yeah, I could not resist. I don't know what the book is about, but it seems amazing. So the next book is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I hope that's how I pronounce the name. This is type of young adult book where there is a boy and a girl, and there is love story, and there is a lot of magic. Without spoiling anything, I would compare this book maybe to Obsidian from what I know, but you can never be sure. I am looking forward to reading this book because I know that Maggie Stiefvater is a lot of people's favorite author. She's also the author of Shiver, the series Shiver, and yeah, I just couldn't resist like all the other books. Like, it's a real thing, people. I'm a bookaholic. Okay, so the next book that I bought is Talon by Julie Kagawa, and this book won me over not only with the shiny cover, which is always a plus, but also because it's about dragons and how dragons, they're like werewolves and they transform into dragons, and this group of dragons wants to be part of society, and then everything goes to hell when the hunters come. This reminded me a lot of Teen Wolf, the TV show, and also I love the idea of dragons and people, because I have read so many books about vampires and werewolves and witches and blah blah blah, but this is about dragons. I mean, who doesn't like dragons? The next book is Cursed by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I'm going to be honest with you, I really didn't know anything about the book when I bought it. I just saw the author and I could not resist because Jennifer L. Armentrout is one of my favorite authors ever. I love her series Lux and the other one, the Covenant series. They're both so amazing with such amazing, but a lot of amazing in one sentence. They both have very strong female characters and are funny and are magical and are just amazing. Just really good and well written and with plot twists and with everything. So I just expect the same from this book, which is a book in a new series. I don't think it's new, but it's new for me. And I hope I'm going to enjoy it as much as I enjoy the other two series. So the next book that I have for you here is Landline by Rainbow Rowell, and I've read two of her other books, Eleanor and Park and Fangirl, and Fangirl has been one of my favorite books that I read during the summer. Yeah, I read during the summer, and I still think about it. It was amazing. Landline is a bit different because it has a bit of magical element in it. So there is this telephone that you can call back in the past, back in time, and well, that's all I know about this book. I mean, I could read more about it. I don't want to because Rainbow Rowell's books are so great that I was just sure that I was going to fall in love with it as much as I fell in love with the other books that she has written. I feel like every time I'm saying the next book, but this book is called The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness, and I love the idea behind the book. Basically, the main characters are those characters that nothing happens to them. They have very ordinary life, and they kind of look at the group of people, like the main characters, the chosen ones, who have who deal with magical stuff and have interesting lives. So this group of teenagers, people, will go through adventures and it'll be great. I love the idea of the book, as I said, and I really am looking forward to reading it. Okay, so the next book is also one that has come out like 7, maybe 8 years ago. I'm not exactly sure, but it's pretty old and I've been dying to read it, but I always wanted to buy a hardcover so that I can read it and enjoy it and take notes and all of that, the whole experience. Without further ado, I'm talking about Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. This book is amazing, and without spoiling anything, I'm just going to say that here on the cover it says, before Hunger Games there was Uglies. This book will have the Krebs Society, magic, strong characters, amazing development, amazing world building. It will be just amazing, and I'm just dying to read it. But as you can see, I have so many books that I'm dying to read that I'm just dying and reading and then dying again. Yeah. The next book that I have for you here is a bit different than all of the books that I've shown you by now. This is Great and Terrible Love by Libby Bray. It is kind of historical because it takes place in the 19th century, to be precise 1895. It also, as you can see from the cover, it has a protagonist, a female protagonist, and I've heard great things about it. And no, I didn't buy it only because of the cover. I think that I'm going to enjoy it a lot because it has magic and it has history, and I love both of them, so combination of them is just mind-blowing. So the 12th book that I have for you here is Slade by Terry Terry. It's a dystopian kind of novel where this girl wakes up without no memories, and the government tell her that she has been an assassin, a terrorist, and that they're giving her a second chance and that they're being graceful. But if I have learned anything about dystopian kind of worlds, you should never trust the government. Like, never. So this character will learn that the hard way, and we'll figure out who she was and what happened so that she lost her memory. The next book that I have for you here, it's called Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I've already finished this book and I'm probably going to upload a video reviewing it in a few days. Without spoiling anything, I'm just going to say that this book was on the children's section, but I could not disagree more. All of the books that I've shown you, most of them, they're young adult, but I think that this is the most grown-up book that I've read in a long time. It discussed some of the topics that most young adult books kind of escape or slide around. I'm just going to say I cried a lot, I laughed a lot, I loved it. The last 3 countdown books. Number 3 is The Young Elite by Marie Lu. This is another series by Marie Lu, and no, it's not linked to Legend. This is a bit more magical, with this girl who loses her family and well, she has to figure out her new powers. And from what I know, the main protagonist, this girl, is not the type of protagonist that we're all used to, because she has a dark side, and that makes the story so much more interesting. The last 2 books I'll present together because they're written by the same person, and one is Queen of Shadows and the other one is A Court by Thorn and Roses. And trust me when I say, I have been practicing to say this title for the last 2 minutes. I finally managed to do it and I'm so proud of myself. I don't know how people can pronounce this. A quarter of... No way. So anyway, I have started reading this book. I'm like 70 pages in and I'm already loving it, as you can see. That means I love it. I have found the first 3 books to be amazing, mind-blowing, and just lovable. And this series is probably going to be my favorite series for this year, but we'll see. The other book is the first book in the series, and it's kind of a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It's kind of a love story. It's very magical, and because they're both written by Sarah J. Maas, that means that they're going to be just amazing, and that once I start reading them, I'll have no time for nothing else but books, which is not a bad thing, but you know, there is life and stuff, whatever. So yeah, these are the 16 books that I bought. I would try to hold them here as I did on my last book shopping tour, but I tried to do that and let's say it did not work out. They fell down a couple of times and I fell down a couple of times. So I'm just going to say that they're 16, that they're amazing, and that I'm looking forward to reading all of them. I'm hopefully going to make book reviews on all of them, but well, I don't know what's going to happen. And I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed seeing the face on the cashier when I came with 16 books in my hands. That was a pretty memorable thing. Yeah. So have a great day and a great week, and hope to see you soon.